I serve as a intentional substitute Sunday school teacher at my church. Now, that's not an official position that was on the church's org chart. I just kind of invented it. Why? Well, first of all, I was never asked to teach a class, so I guess I didn't make the first string, so I invented the idea of a second string that I could enlist in and maybe work my way up to one of those coveted slots as a real Sunday school teacher. But in all sincerity, if I was offered the opportunity to be the permanent teacher of a Sunday school class at my church, I would be inclined to turn it down. As far as I'm concerned, that would be a demotion. Isn't it odd that churches haven't figured this out? It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. A Sunday school teacher is going to need a substitute, sometimes with little or even no notice. I mean, vacations, sickness, last-minute car trouble, you name it. Sooner or later, a Sunday school teacher is going to need a substitute. But instead of meeting this reality head on, like regular schools do, the church decides to kind of, stick their head in the proverbial sand, and I guess they figure that they'll offload it and let it be the teacher's problem to find their own substitute. Well, it backfires, because what if the teacher that needs a substitute just doesn't show up? Guess what? Who handles that? Well, the church office, and it's rather embarrassing and no good, Or the teacher at the last minute calls in and just informs the church office, "Oh, I'm not going to be there. You need to do something with that class. Find somebody to go babysit it." Sometimes the church never even knows. The class simply doesn't have a teacher that Sunday. Listen, nobody is winning here. That's the bad news. But the good news is it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, first of all, I believe that teachers should be actively recruiting and training their own replacements. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. But it should, because that way you're actually developing someone within your class. And I think that falls into the category of making disciples, which we are commanded to do. I don't want to think that teachers are hanging on to their coveted positions of leadership with white knuckles and bloody fingers, but I'm afraid sometimes that is the case. But besides meeting the obvious need, and besides meeting the discipleship need, the list of benefits of this vibrant ministry of a substitute Sunday school teacher is pretty impressive. Clearly, it meets the need of providing for absent teachers. It's developing for future leadership. It's a qualitative programming improvement. I mean, after all, isn't a prepared teacher a better idea than one that's just pressed into service at the last second? And it gives the class some much needed variety. Now, having served as an intentional substitute Sunday school teacher, I can testify that it has been a wonderful experience where everybody wins. As much as I love my class, I do like to meet new people. This is a way to meet new people. The church office has never had to worry about that crisis when at the last minute there's no teacher for a class. But more importantly, if I never ever taught, it's improved my spiritual walk, because I know that each week I need to study this week's Sunday school lesson, because I may be called upon to teach it. Even if I never teach, it helps me in my own spiritual walk. So, I suggest and I challenge, if you're a teacher, start recruiting and start training your own replacement. And let them teach now and then, even while you're there. That way you can kind of supervise them. But give them that opportunity. Train them. Give them a chance. And then, if you would like to be a substitute teacher, if you would like to accept this challenge, it's simple. Just put the word out to the Sunday school teachers that you're available. Give them your phone number, that you're available at the last minute. Better yet, go to the church office and tell them that you are prepared at a moment's notice to teach a class. You could even suggest they get a rubber stamp so when the new literature comes in, they could stamp the inside cover of the literature with your name and number. Say, need a substitute? Call. Okay. You'll get calls. Now, one last thing. Remember that you'll need to be prepared to teach at a moment's notice. So study the Sunday school lesson. Well, that's what I think. But I sincerely wonder if maybe you have some thoughts on the idea. If you do, I would invite you and welcome the idea that you would place your comments down there and share with me. Okay. You can hit me up a lot of different ways. On Twitter, I am at DataGenesis. You can go check out my blog, datagenesis.wordpress.com. And in closing, I'd like to share with you an invitation. There's a group of believers, men and women, that get together, and it's open 24/7, an authentic, live experience where we get together and we share. It's more than just a chat room. It's open 24/7, but not only can you chat with other mature believers, we have videos that are constantly playing, like this one. Okay, and we have others from other contributors, and we have entertaining music, we have informative material. We also dispatch a message from there. We have 50 featured tweets for you Twitter users that are already ready to go. You can send out without typing a single word. We'd invite you to join us, especially during one of our live hashtag rallies. Just go to patriotjournalist.com. And right there in the middle of the page, you'll see two links. One is to the actual live venue, the hashtag rallies. The other is to the schedule of events. So we invite you to come join us, and we would welcome the opportunity to have you be a blessing to us, but also to be a blessing to you. Let's encourage one another. Let's strengthen one another, and let's make disciples. Hope to see you there.